For our data collection method, we sent out a survey using Google Forms to every single senior at Panther Creek High School that we knew until we received 100 responses from seniors. This is an example of voluntary and also convenience. Voluntary is a type of non-probability sampling method where people are self-selected into a survey. Convenience, on the other hand, is kind of similar, but it is a non-probability sampling method that is made up of people who are easy to reach. Here we have our measures of central tendency. First, we wrote out all the data points we got from lowest to highest, and from there we found our median, which is the value that is smack in the middle of the other data points, and we got 2 4s there, so we found the average of the 2 4s, which is just 4, so our median is 4. For the mode, it is the value that appears most often in the data set, which is also 4. For the mean, we had to take the average of all the data, or we added up all the data points, and then we divided it by the number of data points that we collected total, which is 100. So after we added up all of these points, we got 374, and we divided that by 100, which is 3.74. So our mean is 3.74. For mid-range, the mid-range is the average of the largest data point and the smallest data point. So there we took the largest one, which is 8, and then plus our lowest one, which is 0, so 8 plus 0 is 8, and we divided it by 2, because we're finding the average of those 2 points, and that is just 4, so our mid-range is 4. Okay, so here we have the measures of spread. You have range, which is the difference between the greatest value data point and the smallest one. Then you have Q1 and Q3, which are like the middle, or quartiles, where Q1 is the middle value in the first half of the rank ordered data set, and Q3 is the middle value in the other half of the rank ordered data set. And then you have variance, which is the expectation of the squared deviation of a random variable from its mean, and it formally measures how far a set of numbers are spread out from the mean. Then you have standard deviation, which is a measure of dispersion or variation in a distribution. So for range, it's just the max value data point minus the min, so 8 minus 0 is 8, so our range is 8. Then for Q1 and Q3, you could see here that Q1 is in the middle of the smallest and the median, so we have 2, and then Q3 is in between the largest and the median, which is Q3. And also you could find this in your calculator by going to Stat, then Calc 1, keep hitting Enter, and if you scroll down, you'll see Q1 and Q3. For variance, you're going to find the mean, subtract the mean from each data point, square all those values, add them all up, and then divide by the number of total data points in the set with the value that you got when you added them up, and we got our variance as 4.7324. And then you're going to take the whole entire square root of that to get standard deviation, which is 2.1754.
Sheet and graphical representation. The variance of the data is 4.73. The standard deviation is 2.17. The standard deviation was found by the square root of the variance. The graphical representation shows the amount of AP classes taken per student.
While calculating the number of APs seniors have taken through their past 4 years of high school, our group found that our data contained a median of 4, mode of 4, mean of 3.74, and a mid-range of 4. This meant that our data was not exactly normally distributed, but very close.